We have to talk about it. This is exactly what happens when you fuck people over and they hold a grudge just as long as you do. But first, there are some rules of engagement that we as culture need to clear up. We're talking documentaries and entanglements tonight on Dear Black Gay Men Podcast, and the show starts right now. What up, though? I am Jay the Gentleman. That's at Jai the Gentleman on IG. It is Monday. It's time for a new episode of Dear Black Gay Men Podcast. It's still our short, bullshit-free step out of our comfort zone to talk about all the emotional ups and downs along the journey to happiness. Hopefully, this is your midweek reminder of how dope it is to be black gay men and love black gay men. If you are watching the replay and want to skip directly to the main story, timestamps and chapters are in the description. My sister texted me over the weekend and she said that Diddy absolutely did not approve half the shit that was in there. And we was only 5 minutes in. And that told me that this is about to be some shit. I mean, I done cussed already, so. But she told me that it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. The comments are already coming in. Sammy G2238 says, I'm on episode 2 right now. Baby, when I tell you this documentary series was on and popping from the very first second of it. And the idea that they had let me break it down for everybody who has not seen it. Let me know in the chat. Have you seen the Diddy documentary? It's called Sean Combs' The Reckoning. It's on Netflix. Have y'all seen it yet? I will not. There may be some spoiler alerts in here, but just know we all know how it ends. Most of us, unless you've been living under a rock, know that the trial ended and he was acquitted on most of the charges. And then the documentary makes very clear that he was sentenced to 50 months time served for the charges that he was convicted of. I was watching T.S. Madison before, my bad. But let me know in the chat. Have you seen the documentary? Have you seen it? Have you seen it? Let me holla at your boy. Say I finished the other day. Panthro. I think Panthro is not talking to me. Just for clarity, Panthro was absolutely first one today. He was 2 hours early. And it's snowing here. Whatever city Panthro is in. Now, Panthro, mind you, I don't think you've ever told us what part of the globe you're in, because lots of inquiring minds are curious. Where are you on the planet, Panthro? Don't drop your address, but Panthro said, Doc, because there is a doctor in the chat. Why didn't you not invite me to watch it with 3 winking faces? Panthro, don't fuck around and find out now, because I know which doctor you're talking about, and the way I will tell you, he will be either you or he will be on a Delta flight in 2 seconds if you keep messing around. So don't write a check your ass can't cash. Winter Minute said, yes, I have watched all 4 episodes yesterday. Baby, when I tell you, Panthro is in Virginia. Like DMV, Virginia. See, now I'm asking all more questions. You don't have to answer that. But like, when I tell you this documentary was on, for those who don't know, the premise of this documentary is Diddy leading up to his trial. Unbeknownst to him, he did not know this documentary was going to happen. But leading up to his trial, he had a camera crew following him. He had a videographer following him, capturing all this footage of how he planned on dealing with the charges leveled against him. Because, it's 100 plus civil cases and then criminal charges that were leveled against him, right? That's what he was in custody for. And days leading up to his arrest, he already had a camera crew following him. And during his arrest, the production company, which ironically was 50 Cent, got a hold of the footage that he captured of himself during the days leading up. And so this documentary is touching on Diddy's career from the beginning when he was at Uptown Records as an intern all the way through to this trial, and how not only was he grooming other people to take advantage of them allegedly, but he was also grooming himself to have this kind of egomaniacal, very megalomaniac kind of approach to life, like he was untouchable. And the unfortunate part about it is, I don't know how this man gonna come back from it. I don't know how this man is going to come back from this. So we got to talk about it. The Diddy documentary called Sean Combs: The Reckoning was commissioned by and executive produced by Curtis 50 Cent Jackson and directed by Alexandria Stapleton. This 4-part fall from grace story lays out how Diddy may never have been graceful in the first place. The doc alleges that Sean Combs may have been behind the murders of Tupac and Biggie. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert again, involved in the incarceration of Shine, Suge Knight, and others, and masterminded the rape and sexual violation of countless women and men alongside a whole host of other craziness. Allegedly. While this is not a story about black gay culture or dealing with black gay culture, some commentators have taken to TikTok to give their honest feedback. Most of the creators that we're going to be featuring tonight are black gay men and others whose sexuality is unknown. Today's goal is to get the black gay perspective on one of the icons in black culture and his fall from grace. I am excited to be talking to y'all. Because, baby, when I tell you this documentary was crazy. You have to know Diddy absolutely did not come. He couldn't have signed off on any of this. And the irony is, in researching this topic, when they presented it to me, I was researching the topic. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson has been doing the press junket to talk about this documentary. Not aside from the fact that it is groundbreaking, period. But when I tell you he has been making his rounds, he's been on ABC. I bet you he was on Good Morning America. He probably been on the Today Show. He has been everywhere talking about this with a smile on his face. And this is what I know. That Nene Leakes ain't never lied. She said, you never win when you fighting dirty. You never win when you fighting dirty. It might not have been yesterday. It might not have been 10 years from now. It might, but everybody gonna get what's coming to them. Everybody gonna get what's coming to them. Doc said, can we talk about how fine Tupac was? I did not remember how fine Tupac was until this documentary came up. Tupac was fine. Tupac, 112, Day 26, all of them were fine back in the day. And I'll be sure, baby, when I tell you, I could not remember how fine that man was. Now, I will tell you, I'm not usually into the light skins with the curly hair from the 90s and early 2000s, but I'll be sure could have got it. I was more of a Genuine person, but that was late 90s. But Genuine could have got it. But again, we got to see all of the different things. Now, one thing I will say in episode 1 or 2 that I didn't realize so much of Diddy's success was built on death and tragedy. I had no idea because, I'm living in Texas or Michigan or wherever I was in the globe, but he was in New York and Manhattan, taking over the world with Uptown Records, then with Bad Boy and all the things, right? And so I didn't know so much of his sex was built off of death and tragedy. Like I said, the documentary alleges that he might have had a hand in the death of Tupac and Biggie. He had at this huge party long time ago. This is a headline. Everybody should know about it. He had this huge party. It was going to be a celebrity basketball game. 9 people ended up dead at that. That kind of catapulted him into this kind of superstardom. And then he had the death of Tupac and Biggie. That catapulted him into superstardom. And then he had all these tragedies with the trials that we've seen with like Cassie and so many other men and women who have said that he might have sexually violated them, allegedly. So it's absolutely crazy. Winter Minute said, yes, it was so sad. Holla at Your Boy said they seem so much older than Panthro. I don't know what him and Panthro talking about. Sammy G 228. Is that your AOL screen name, friend? Is that from AOL Instant Messenger? Yeah, I didn't know about the party with the people dying in the trample. He got off with no charges. No charges. Now I ain't gonna break too many things because I don't want to give away like the whole documentary, but y'all definitely got to watch that. That was episode 1, I believe, to talk about how he went from being an intern to this crazy huge party promoter and one of the tragedies that came along the way. It was a thing. So we are going to be reacting to some of the creators who have taken to TikTok, who have either finished or are in process of watching, and we're going to listen to their reactions. Now, I will tell you, though this is Dear Black Gay Men, I am not asserting that all the creators that we are reacting to are also black gay men, but most of them are. So just go, and we about to have the black gay conversation about the biggest documentary that is out right now. I cannot wait to talk about it. So let's check this out.
So I'm on episode 1 of the Diddy documentary.
This is what I mean. Y'all can tell this is one of the girls, and he's very clearly one of the girls, not because of his presentation, because he talks about gay shit all the time. This is bougie brown skin on TikTok. I follow him religiously, but let's keep going.
And first of all, this is 1000% the type of documentary that I would expect someone's enemy to make about them. Immediately, straight out the gate from the jump, I can tell that 50 Cent's hands are all up in this. Secondly, before I get into what I really want to talk about, Janice, in every shade of blonde synthetic wig she owns, needs to be in a cell next to that nigga.
Okay, pause right there. Now, let me ask y'all this. Oop, wrong one. Let me ask y'all this. When the hardest part about this particular documentary is, I really did see, because they talked about all the careers he's impacted. If we can think back, because again, the reason why this hit me hard is because this brought up all the artists that I knew and loved, like Total, 112, who else was Bad Boy? Lil Kim, Mace, Puff Daddy back in the day, Notorious B.I.G., like all of Mary J., all of them were Bad Boy or affiliated with Bad Boy. While y'all were watching this, did anybody else have nostalgia about them? Like, did this bring up anything for anybody else? Did this bring up a Winterman said, yes, please get that mama. When I tell you, okay, see, and I'm trying my hardest to like to talk about the documentary without giving away too much. But when I knew this was about to be some fuck shit, when they said that story about his mama when after the tragedy, baby. Panther said, yeah, he screwed all his artists. Now, I will say that is a norm. And this perhaps is one of the things that the reasons why I am very particular about how I conduct business. So for those who don't know, here at Dear Black Gay Men, I have help that helps me put everything together. Like for our live shows, especially when there's an audience, like Doc was here last week. When there's an audience, there is a crew here. There are camera people, and there is a producer at the desk pushing the buttons and interacting with the chat. Like there are people here. Now, I'm not making a career because this is Dear Black Gay Men. I ain't Bad Boy yet. But the one thing that I take away from all of this, especially this documentary, and it hit me hard, is you got to pay people, and you got to pay people well. Because one thing that I know is that black business is wrought with poor business people. People that either get too big for their britches and they take advantage of folks. Like, because we've had so many fall from grace stories. We've had, Diddy, Bill Cosby. Who else? Who else is falling from grace? I had a whole list of them early today, but you got to pay people. You got to pay people well, and you got to pay people on time. And that's one thing that I don't think black folk have gotten. Those stories that of people who don't get paid. Todrick Hall is one of them. Todrick Hall was allegedly didn't pay his people. When I tell you, the word gets around when the girls don't get their coins. Pay them what you said you're gonna pay them, and pay them on time. Sammy, Doc said, the better you pay people, the quieter they remain. Now, I will say, my thing is pay them well, pay them on time, and then don't do no dumb shit. And the one thing that I have to walk, the fine line that I have to walk is when people work with us here, we are very sex positive. I talk about sex and sexuality on this show all the time. And so I have to be very mindful of who I'm working with and how I'm interacting with them. And one thing I will tell you is that no person on this team has ever been in a situation where they have been violated by me. And I'll stand 10 toes down on that. But I think I think we need a couple new lessons in how to do business. Because unfortunate part about it is I have always been in situations where in gay culture you get at these organizations and then CEO, ED hire some cute little twink to work the front desk or hire some program director, and the next thing you know, lines get really blurry. And so just like all of this shit is happening with Diddy, where he had this larger than life persona and then was taking advantage of the people that he could influence easily. I have seen that play out in Black queer spaces time and time again, where not everything is done above board, and then next thing you know, somebody is dick hurt or running away from something, and next thing you know, you got the hardest part about by conducting business as a Black gay man, especially working with other Black gay people, is ensuring that you can do everything above reproach. And I think that is one thing that I've learned from this Diddy documentary is that integrity is going to carry you through any situation. Integrity is going to carry you through absolutely any situation. And that is, I don't think I needed it. I hope I didn't need it. I hope nobody is calling HR on me. But the fact that I approach business with integrity and the fact that Diddy didn't, now he got this big ass Netflix documentary about him, that I have learned that. Say what you mean what you say, do what you're going to do, and then go the fuck home. That is my life mantra, and I can apply that to anything. Say what you say you're going to do what you said you was going to do, mean what you say, and then go the fuck home. Because then I ain't got to worry about nothing. Panthro asked Jay, where you get that necklace? This is from Lynx, Lincs. What I love about it is it's heavy. It is very, very heavy. Like when you wear it, like, can y'all hear it? But when you wear it, you gonna know you got that shit on. Doc said, give the people a bonus too. Give the people a bonus as well. Because that's another thing that I can tell you about Black gay business. Since we're talking about a business person, one thing I know about Black gay business people, or one thing I have experienced, I do not know this to be true about all of them, but one thing I have experienced is niggas is cheap. We are cheap as hell. We don't. And then we wonder why people are doing business with us and then leave to go do the exact same thing working for some white man. Is because you know what that white man gonna do? They're gonna pay you more. They're gonna give you a bonus at the end of the year, even if it's, $200. Like, they're gonna give you a bonus at the end of the year. They're going to let you get you some recognition. For some reason, in my experience, a lot of these organizations run by Black people just assume that you should be excited to work there. No, nigga, this is a job just like anywhere else. And if, for instance, I am not going to be honored and appreciated and encouraged here, I will go somewhere where my services will be respected. For some reason, the one thing that I know about Black gay business is being a Black gay business owner doesn't give you a leg up over anybody else, because if I am an employee, I'm looking at all of my business opportunities exactly the same. Yes, I would love to work here, but if you're not going to appreciate me in my paycheck, then I'll go somewhere where I will be. And I do think that a lot of times in our culture, we don't think about the big picture when it comes to like building a business. I can't tell you how many people I know get a nonprofit certificate, they get an LLC, they get an S Corp, they get some business, and then all they want to do is service this little neighborhood. All they want to do is just, not work for anybody. They want to just not have to clock in. And then next thing you know, you have a revolving door, great talent that comes here, finds out how fucked up y'all are and moves on because nobody's thinking about the big game. That's one of the reasons why I appreciate Dr. Daniel Driffin, who was one of the founders of Thrive SS. I appreciate Dwayne Crowder, who is at A Vision for Hope. I appreciate Juan and G. I appreciate Rashad Burgess. I appreciate these people that are at the top of their game because at least they're keeping the eye on the prize. So watching this documentary, one thing I realized is the one thing I can't knock Diddy for is he had a big fucking vision. He knew exactly what the fuck he wanted. He wanted to be worldwide, my nigga. And he wasn't gonna stop till he did it. Now, granted enough, he stepped over and on top of everybody in his way, and that's where he fucked up. But when I tell you one thing that I cannot ever knock him for, I cannot ever knock Bill Cosby for, is they had a big fucking vision. They were fucked up how they pursued that vision, but they had a big fucking vision, and I don't think enough of us have that. Because we could apply that principle to anything. I think a lot of us don't end up having a big enough vision about our love life. I don't think enough of us have a big enough vision about our love life. And so what happens is we end up approaching everything with this small ass mindset about everything instead of leaning in and being like, I'm just going to rock this shit till the wheels fall off, my nigga. And I can't stand that bullshit. People complaining about the dating pool, but all you want is a nigga with a crib, car, and a job. Want more, my nigga. If nothing else you take away from this Diddy documentary is that man wanted something monumental. Now, again, his integrity didn't allow him to get it and achieve it in a way that served the people around him and served the business he was building. But that does not negate the fact that he manifested the kind of success that he saw in his life. He manifested that shit from day one, from as an intern at Uptown all the way to the top, to the CEO of Sean John, to the CEO of Revolt, to the CEO of Bad Boy, to the CEO of all the things that he do. And the one thing I think that gay people can take away from that is we need a bigger vision for ourselves. I'll tell y'all a story real quick. Doc said, big visions matter. You can't cause harm, though. You cannot cause harm. I agree. Big visions matter, but you cannot step on or over people to achieve it. You got to do everything above board. But let me tell you this. Has nothing to do with this documentary. I was in a situation a while ago. And y'all know how people date. Y'all know how black men date. And we want to keep all these pieces of our life separate, right? I am one way with my family. I'm dating as this man, but I'm one way with my family. I'm one way with my friends. I'm one way here. I'm one way there. And we will hold off on introducing our best friend to our boyfriend. We'll hold off on introducing our boyfriend to our family. We'll hold off on bringing your man to the work function. We'll hold off on all these things because we want to have some milestone before it, right? So I was dating this dude. And I introduced him to my family, my whole family. And my mother is one of 8. So imagine how big that family is, right? My whole family. And at the end of it, we had this conversation where he talked about how he thinks that we will be at odds if, for instance, I needed to activate from my relationship or I needed to activate from my family. He thought I was, he thought I would err on the side of my family. But what I realized in that was the vision I have for my life, my relationship, my everything is so big that I need you to be a part of it. I don't got time to be pulling myself in all these different directions. I got one life. I got one family. I got one business. I got one niece, one nephew, one sister, one brother. I got one of everything. And I can only be myself. And if my vision is I see myself with you, then I need to put you in everything. Not my business, though. There's only one name on e-bank accounts. But I need to put you in everything because I gotta swing big. I ain't getting no cool points for playing it small. But that was a whole tangent off of, one little piece. Let's keep going with what this creator did.
Because as a mother, she essentially raised that man to be the man that he is today. She raised him to believe that he was a goddamn pimp and a drug lord. She had him dressing in tilted fedora hats and chinchilla coats at 5 when he should have been in Oshkosh B'gosh. Now, what I really want to talk about is the basketball game. First of all, this is 1000% my first time hearing.
All right. So, spoiler alert, I wish I had a button. I need a button for that. But I will say, I'm going to play the air horns every time we got a spoiler alert. But one thing I will say is, I'll set the premise of this basketball game. Diddy, for those who have not watched, you might want to pause this, let this live go, and watch the replay. But for while we here, for everybody left, I'll tell you, Diddy, at the beginning of his career, before Bad Boy, when he's still at Uptown, he planned this celebrity basketball game. It was intended to be a celebrity basketball game at some basketball court in New York. He sold tickets for $12 a piece, back when you could buy something for $12. And what happened was, he packed out this court for this celebrity basketball game. Everyone's backstage getting ready, and they decided, but there was a line still wrapped around the building, and that's where the story starts.
About the tragedy that happened at that celebrity game or whatever he was hosting. This is my first time hearing about this. Had no fucking idea that this was something that actually happened in his life, and this is what actually made him who he was. But when they started talking about that basketball game, the first thing that came to my mind was Astroworld. I don't know if I'm the only person that thought about that, but when they said that people bum rushed the door and were trampled, and that is essentially how a lot of people end up losing their lives, the first fucking thing that came to my mind was Astroworld and Travis Scott. Because the similarities between those two situations are eerily similar. It's almost as if Travis Scott decided to recreate a ritual or a tribute that he saw someone else do in the past. Like Diddy said out of his own mouth that the tragedy that happened to those people is what essentially made him become a known name.
Pause right there. I come to realize that there is a lot of success born out of tragedy in Black culture, just in general. Can y'all, again, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. So what happened was 9 people died at that game. They bum rushed the door. 9 people died at that game. And Diddy became this worldwide phenom because now he's got shows so good that people are willing to put their life on the line for a $12 ticket. That is the narrative he spun it into. He went on, had press conferences and shit. Now, mind you, he is just second, third in command at Uptown Records, but he is now doing press conferences talking about he had nothing to do with the tragedy and loss of life, and now he is on Arsenio Hall, and he is on BET at the time and MTV and all these places gaining notoriety because now he's on this press tour talking about this tragedy, right? One thing that I realize is there's a lot of that happening in Black culture, especially the gays. Like, I can think of every porn star, every very prominent porn star has had some kind of scandal around them. Every single one has had some crazy scandal around them where all of a sudden they, are on this apology tour and they post some long ass wall of text tweet where they're like, I really want to apologize to blah, blah, blah. Now mind you, let me be clear. No one has died in this example that I'm about to give, but Todrick Hall did that shit. He was on apology tour for some crazy shit that he did a while ago. Raheem Shabazz has been on an apology tour about how his relationship ended with Elijah Zane. But those things made them even more popular because now we all know. Doc said all publicity is good publicity. So maybe I need to have me a little tragedy. Panthro. Where you at? Do we need to get into a beef? I'll beef with Panthro. I'll beef with somebody. Winter minutes. Maybe we need to argue about something. Y'all want to get into it? Put Dear Black Gay Men on the map so we can be like, so we be in gay magazine like podcaster beefs with man in the chat. Podcaster beefs with prominent supporter. Y'all want to get into a beef? We can have a beef right now. Let's get into a beef. Aaron Woods said, no, sir. Panther said LMAO. I'm serious. We can get into a beef. Let's beef out right now. Let's beef out right now. Panther dick ain't as big as he say it is. Yes, it is. Panther dick ain't as big as he say it is. Rolando, that's another one. Rolando, we need to get into a beef. Let's just beef out right now. Put us all on the map. Put us all on. But let's keep going.
So basically, people lost their lives for you to have fame. And Travis Scott was already somebody, but I feel like after Astroworld, he reached a different level. You catch what I'm putting down? Because there is just no way that those two situations just coincidentally happen where
Aaron Wood said notoriety is not a good thing to have, sugar. Low key, I kind of love that you call me sugar right there. Doc said, pull it out. Panther said, what? Holla at your boy said, no beef. We love it here, Jay. Okay, let me ask y'all this. Now, this is black gay men talking about black culture. If we can broaden this conversation, I really want to know, how do y'all have a reaction when you hear about these celebrities that were not on the up and up? Like, I can remember all the things that happened to Bill Cosby. And, the Huxtables were the definition of black successful family. The Huxtables were the definitions of that. And so when everything came out about how he was dropping Quaaludes and drinks and all the things, I really did have a reaction. There was something about that genuinely bothered me. Because in my head, he was what I wish my dad would act like. I wish my mother was a lawyer and my dad is a doctor. But I wish that, my family structure was like that. I wish that, whatever. Even though Bill Cosby and Cliff Huxtable and Heathcliff Huxtable are different, but a part of me really did have it because it felt like a part of my upbringing was unraveling. Same thing with Diddy. Like, I remember every step I take, like after Notorious B.I.G. died. And then I remember being one of them that's like, Tupac's still alive. After this documentary, that ship is sailed. Like, did anybody have like a reaction when you started understanding all of these things about these very, very prominent black people, primarily men, who just violated so many people in business and in their personal lives, people that we built a culture around? Diddy was the voice of a culture, a generation of people. R. Kelly is another one. R. Kelly was the voice of a generation. Age ain't nothing but a number. He did with Aaliyah, Step in the Name of Love, all of that. And I'd imagine if I was a little older, I'd probably have like O.J. Simpson and how the Juice was the shit back in the day. And then next thing you know, we see that white fucking Bronco driving through Los Angeles. Sting gets all the royalties for that song, as he should. Doc said, I think power and ego always corrupt at some time. I do think that that a lot of us end up with it. Now, I will say, and y'all go with me here, because maybe this is a perspective, but I think that because in black culture, black men are beat down. Not more than other parts of our culture, but black men are absolutely beat down just by society, right? And I do think that when black men find themselves in that space where they're living that white privileged life, that untouchable, like Diddy, like R. Kelly, like Bill Cosby, when you walking into rooms and white people standing up for you, I think that does make you feel that absolutely strokes your ego. You start thinking that you can get away with shit like they can. And that's just not the case. The unfortunate part about it is I truly believe Diddy should have got a whole lot more jail time than what he did. Major Atsu John Ford. I feel like I'm butchering that. But said, what about Jennifer Hudson? What about Jennifer? Something happened with J Hood? Shamar Will said, I just noticed everyone that was signed to him, they all failed and had to fight for their rights and money. Everyone. I can't think of a bad boy artist that came out big. Mary J was not bad boy. Or at least she wasn't bad boy at the end. Mary J still making music and Mary J still in the game. With her thigh high boots and that dance. With that limp neck dance. Mary J still in the game, but I think she left bad boy very, very early. Faith Evans was R&B divas. But I don't know anyone is making money or music to the degree that Diddy was. Doc said, but we can't absolve the people around these men that created the support mechanism to make it a reality. I agree. But you know, the irony about all of this, and this is one thing that I'm so curious about, is I only realize the only time that I do not, I could put the shot back up. The only time that I have not seen absolute power corrupting absolutely is when people are surrounded by diverse opinions. Like Oprah is an actual billionaire. And if you walked in the Harpo, because you know, that was my dream and I fulfilled it. I got to the Oprah show before she ended. When I walked in the Harpo, it was white women and white men and black people and Latino people and Asian people, and she had a little bit of everybody up in that place. And while she is a very powerful person, and granted enough, she did a lot of work to keep her ego in check. She somehow stayed as above board as one could when you're doing $1 billion deals. It's just something about men in power. Men in power just always seems to go wrong a lot more often than not. Doc said you may get away with it for a while. Everyone gets a turn though. Yep. Mary was uptown. That's what they said in the doc. Shamar, Aaron Wood says we need to get out of the mindset of trying to get over on people just to get ahead. It will catch up to you eventually. I'm just saying. I agree. Michelle Obama said if you have to, when you walk through the door or climb the ladder, you need to turn around and reach back and pull others up. I truly believe this came up the other day. Y'all can weigh in on this. I'll tell y'all a little story. I will not drop any names, but go with me. So y'all know the name of this show is Dear Black Gay Men. And so I got like 10 text messages a while ago. I won't tell you how long ago, but a while ago. And somebody had posted an episode of something else that was Dear Black Gay Men, insert sentence afterwards, right? And a lot of people expected me to be so bent out of shape over it. Because, you know, somebody was using the name Dear Black Gay Men. For clarity, Dear Black Gay Men is a trademark name. I protected that shit because I know it's going to be huge. But the fact that, you know, I can't stop anybody from stringing those 4 words together and figuring out a way to market to whomever they're trying to talk to. And the interesting thing about the conversation is I walked away from that conversation encouraging him to pursue content however he felt appropriate for his audience. A lot of people thought I was going to be upset. I was going to try to shut him down. I was going to do all this. Now, granted, if you can't use that name, Dear Black Gay Men, TM. But I encourage people. Like, I don't think there is a shortage of podcasts. I don't think there's a shortage of people with microphones. Anybody can get this mic. Anybody can get the soundboard. Anybody can get this computer. Anybody can get any of this. And I encourage people to add their voice to the cultural conversation. And a lot of people feel weird because I want other people to do this. I want other people to create podcasts and platforms. I want people to outpace me. I want people to do it better and do it bigger. I want people to grow. But I don't know that I've heard that sentiment a lot in Black culture. Like, I don't know a restaurateur who's like, I want you to start a restaurant. I haven't heard somebody who owns a car lot to be like, I want you to open a car lot. In my head, if you do it better than me, if you outpace me, if you outlap me, then that gives me some inspiration. It keeps me firing on all cylinders. But again, that is just me. All right, teammates, I'm getting way off topic and way off the script. And it's already 9:40. Well, damn, Jay, you've been talking a lot. Okay. I would like to know in the comments, let me know in the comments if you've seen the doc. If so, did Diddy do it? Did Diddy do what he is alleged to have done? We're reacting to creators. The team pulled together, the first of which is one of my favorites. We just talked about him, but let me know in the chat, did he do it? Do you think he did it? And we will be right back. What up, though? I am Jay the Gentleman, and I host all the craziness that happens right here in the back room. As far as I know, we are the only queer-led podcast that has its own studio in Atlanta, and we party in the back room. We have a Kiki in the back room.
Get that gooch licked on or something. Like, figure it out. Like,
we have a cocktail in the back room.
Oh, that's really good.
That's what she said. And we grow in the back room. Every time y'all are here, every time you're here, you say something that I'm just like, that really happens? If you're in the Atlanta area, you want to join us in the back room, visit dearblackgayman.com/tickets to see what live shows and events we have coming up right here in the back room.
Am I going crazy? Did you ever plan on becoming my baby? Was it all I gave her? Am I going crazy? For the time you wasted, I should make you pay me. Regret the day you played me. Am I going crazy?
Welcome back to Dear Black Gay Man Podcast. I am Jay the Gentleman. It is time for church announcements. Hit it. Every week, I write about the ups and downs of my dating journey on our blog on Substack. It's a deep dive into my emotional and sexual trials while I keep my man in 2025. Join for free by clicking the screen now, or the link is in the description. This one is called I'm a Bottomist, and I believe in the equality of the positions. When I tell you I've gotten so many messages about this particular post, because a lot of people, for some reason, don't believe that bottoms deserve to come like other positions do. And that is so weird to me. So baffling that anybody in our culture would have that mindset. But again, to each their own. I believe bottoms deserve whatever kind of pleasure that they desire, and they deserve even more of it because they over here taking dick. They taking people into their home, their bedroom, their bed, and their body just so we can have some sex. And you telling me that my job is just to come in and fuck you till I come? Get the fuck out of here. Okay. This message is for the girls and the girls only. Can we agree that the only appropriate time to log onto an app for a hookup is when you're absolutely ready? Stay with me, because I'm going somewhere. You're horny, so regardless of position, you tap the apps. You find a dude and you set something up. Inevitably, the bottom will say, what? Y'all can say it, put it in the chat. They say, let me get in the shower real quick. I'll hit you when I'm done. You finish your shower, bottom, and he stops responding because while you showered, he found somebody else that was more ready and decided to go with the other dude instead of you. And now here you are, pissed off because you got clear water and no dick appointment. So what do? You log back onto the apps now that you're ready and you find some other nigga to do what you hope the first dude was going to do in the first place. Can't we all just agree that we could dead all the frustration by only logging in when you're fully ready? No, you're not going to miss out on no dick. And no, tops, you're not going to miss out on no ass. As a culture, can't we just say hookup protocol is take your shower, do whatever your prep work is, then tap the apps, and then enjoy yourself? Wouldn't that be easier? Or am I the drama? Let me know in the comments and follow for more dope queer stories. The best way to support what we do here on Dear Black Gay Men is to become a YouTube member. Members get access to exclusive conversations and members only chat, behind the scenes content, and you can join me to chop it up right here on the show. And a portion of your memberships will be donated to a nonprofit doing the work in Black gay culture. Just hit the join button below this episode or send a super chat of any amount. For all the latest updates, follow me everywhere on socials at JAI The Gentleman on IG and Threads. That concludes our church announcements. Please govern thyself accordingly, and we will be right back. What up, y'all? I need your help. There's this new feature on YouTube that can help us grow as a channel. It's called Hype. It's free. I've seen it work on small channels just like ours, but it only works if we all do it. Antonio Speaks is a channel that I follow. He started at 20K subscribers when I hit the subscribe button, and I've seen him get 1,000 new subs in a day, hundreds of thousands of new viewers. In YouTube, right next to the like and share, there's this new button called Hype. The more a video gets hyped, the higher it will rank on YouTube. The higher we rank, the more people get to see our content, the faster Dear Black Gay Men continues to grow. Like this video right now. When you see Dear Black Gay Men content on YouTube, even if you've watched it already or attended the live, like the video, drop a comment, and click the hype button. I appreciate y'all more than I can express. Let's get to 20. I've been in the gym so I could do two things. It's one, thirst trap on the internet, and look good for my man when I find one. And that's why I'm excited that support for Dear Black Gay Men comes from Twillery. Black men, whether you're in the gym, like me, or blessed with good genetics, like me, carry our weight in a couple key spots that can make suits and slacks hard to fit and uncomfortable to wear without either having to size up or break the bank in tailoring. But Twillery answers the fit problem with their performance fabrics. It's the right fit for the tailored look and just enough stretch for comfort and breathability. I'm wearing right now the solid performance polo that hugs my chest and arms while tapering just enough at the waist to show off the good parts. Twillery carries suiting, polos, button-ups, and everything to impress at the job or knock someone's socks off on a date. And you can shop for the perfect fit right now at Twillery.com, and we've got a special offer for the DBGM family. Take $18 off your first order by using code M300J. That's Twillery.com, and we thank them for supporting our channel. What up, though? Welcome back to Dear Black Gay Men Podcast. I am Jay the Gentleman. If you're enjoying this content, hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never miss when we go live at 9 p.m. every day. Also, hit the like button on this video to help more listeners find the podcast. I want to touch on a couple of these damn comments. So I said during the monologue, I said log on after you done got ready. Doc agrees with me. Only log in when you're fully ready. Holla at your boy, however, is I definitely get on, then get ready. How does that make sense? Are we more holla at your boy or are we more Doc? Excuse me, because how that make sense? So you telling me, now granted enough, I will say, I don't want to waste a clean out waiting for a possibility. You really, unless you live in Dubuque, Montana, I guarantee you will find some dick to hop on top of. There is not a city on this planet where you clean out and you don't got pheromone. We can smell that shit. It's like pheromones. Y'all telling me, see, Panther said I'm with Holla. Y'all telling me that y'all, so what happens? Cause this is what happens to me. This is what happens to me. I'm on the apps, right? Somebody is 2 point whatever miles away. They hit me with now granted enough, I'm probably laid on my stomach in the dark in my bedroom thinking. Initially, I probably think, thank God that they got to get ready because I got to like get my spirit together to get up and put on some clothes and then get in the car and drive because I do not host. But then, they've hit me with the let me take a shower and I'll hit you when I'm done. In that time, while they are showering, I get 10 more messages from somebody else. From anybody else. And so next thing I know, I'm like, okay, well, you are a little further away, but you are ready right now. So I'm like, all right. Put on my sweats. It's still the same drive to me. It's just now, instead of having to wait for old boy who wants to take a shower and then sew us up me to death, I can just go over here to this other dude. Okay, holla at your boy said made a very good point. We're not all in the gay mecca ATLJ. Fair. Panther, I'm just saying, it feels like everybody is just going to end up going to the other hookup. You go to who's most convenient. And so in my head, I'm like, if you want to score more, just go. Just as sure as I can find you right now, I could find you in an hour when I'm ready for you. Again, that's just me. Real shit with Darren T said Jay is the problem. I'll be the drama on this one. This is a hill I will die on. Doc said, you don't have to wipe off your wee-wee. Just go. No, it's not day old. No, it's not day old. I will take a shower. I'll wrench it off. And I said wrench. When the guy been edging for a couple hours, I like people who've been edging for days, but that's just me. Lucia, I'm certain that you're a real person because of the dialogue, but the channel's called Dear Black Gay Men. We're all gay, friend. Aaron Wood says, I didn't get on the apps with the intent to do anything. I didn't get on the apps with the intent to do anything. Honestly, it usually took me feeling you in conversation before I get that. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Like the apps have one purpose and one purpose only for me. At least moment to moment. Like if I'm getting on the apps, I'm looking for a date. I'm looking for a fuck. I'm looking for something very specific before I log on. I don't log on and be like, hey, what's up? I ain't one of them. So maybe I definitely am the drama here. But that's just me. All right. The next creator is also it says the next creator is unpacking the story a little deeper. Let's check this out.
Higher humanity like this one has. It starts by going after Diddy's manhood, questioning his masculinity by saying there's no man in the house. They have a lifelong friend come and say, well, I learned how to ride my bike from my father. Sean didn't have that. Insinuating that his friends that had father figures had to raise him.
Pause right there. That is one thing I think every black person deals with is anytime you challenge the masculinity of a black person, black man. I think everybody has a fucked up ideology about that. Every single person. You could be a butch queen bottom, you could be a femme top, you could be whatever. But anytime you challenge the manhood of somebody, unless of course they are. Y'all gonna get off of me. A King said Jay is spoiled by being in ATL for sure. Okay. I'm spoiled by being in ATL, and I will say I'm also spoiled by being a top. Or at least not someone who bottoms that often. Because I will say in every city that I've ever been to, ass is falling out of the sky in 10 times more than dick. So maybe I am the drama. Again, I ain't seen not one person be like, hey, Jay has a point. So, okay, I'm the drama. My bad. We ain't gonna get through all of this, but let's keep going with this particular reel. We ain't gonna get through all of
This
them.
documentary also insinuates something else. There's a specific part where his mother says that she has to work at an after-hours club. That's insinuating something without saying it out loud. They say that his mom had a lot of
Just for everybody who's watching, his mama is. So the documentary adds that they feel as if Sean Combs' father was a pimp or a hustler of some kind. That is what they either insinuate or allege in the documentary. And whatever you think a hustler's girl looks like, a hustler baby mama looks like, that's what his mama looks like. And I hate to be the one to talk about her, but she looked like somebody that you would think a hustler's mama or a hustler's baby mama look like. Doc said his mama was outside. Yes, she was. Yes, she was. His mama was outside, child. Aaron Wood says, we love you, Uncle Jay. Y'all know calling me Uncle Jay gets me going. So thank you for that, Aaron. I appreciate it. Lucia, was she a stripper or more? No, I don't think she was they didn't talk about that, but she did work at an after hours spot. And I think she was more of the bouncer, the door person. She was probably the one with the money. But let's keep going with this one. We're going to keep going till the time. We're not going to be able to finish it, but we will watch
Donna Summers playing in the house, insinuating that there was a lot of booger sugar and nefarious activity. One of his lifelong friends is quoted as saying Janice knew how to throw a party. Janice is his mother, insinuating that there were Johns and adult workers there. There's even a part where they say that Sean and his friends were made to dance for adults. Sean was picked.
And see, that's one thing that I have an issue with in our culture. Is a lot of times we want to blame a lot of our woes and our ills on our upbringing. But I can hear so many parents thinking that is why you don't have gay people around children, because they're going to turn out gay. You don't have pimps and hoes around children because they're going to turn out pimps and hoes. And I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking it's a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B. I don't know any gay person, especially a young one, that becomes gay. But I do know a whole bunch of people that are groomed to be deviant. Is that the word for it? And I think our culture, black culture, confuses these things. We think of homosexuality as a deviant behavior, and then we group it together with things like how Diddy is allegedly taking advantage of women, allegedly doing bad business, allegedly being a hustler. And so I think in our culture, the way that we position these conversations is as if the things that we dear black gay men have been dealing with our whole life are the same as the things that Diddy did. And I think that shit crazy. All right, teammates. The links to all these creators and their content are in the description. We are about to take another break. We'll be right back.
I press play. I'm moving forward in my life.
I press play. I'm choosing my path.
Owning each day. I press play because I got tested for HIV. Now I know my status.
I press play.
I did.
We all should get tested for HIV.
We ain't never had a conversation this good.
Start fighting and it's over nothing. Like, why?
Nothing was off limits.
What do you look for?
Top thing, first thing. You
Honestly.
scrolling on the apps and you like, how has HIV impacted your dating life? Then it got a little petty.
Worked the same way that the negative hoe worked. And I said,
Celebrating National Black HIV/AIDS Awareness Day. It's the HIV Talk on Dear Black Gay Men Podcast. Welcome back to Dear Black Gay Men Podcast. I am Jay the Gentleman. This has been an action-packed show. I will tell y'all, I got some news, so stick around. But before we head out, let's comment on comments. Hit it. If you about that life, you can come on the show and let me know what you think. You just hit the link in the description or go to livestream.dearblackgaymen.com to join me to join me. The link is pinned in the comments. For those who don't know, of course, we are live, but there are many people that watch us on the replay. And so I want to make sure that we highlight some of the comments. There's a whole dialogue happening. Thank you so much, Stephen Black, for your super chat. Stephen is a great supporter of the show. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Okay, teammates. This comment is from a episode that we did a while ago. He in Unchung said, Black gay culture is so behind the times. Being verse is the way to go. I say this as a 97% top to maybe if I met someone special, I would do it again. It just isn't for me. Get off the app. See people as people. This comment is kind of interesting. You would verse is the way to go, but you're a top. I guess my only response to that would be you should probably go verse then. Right? This one says, this is from an episode we did reacting to race play. We did a show about a creator who specializes in race play as a white dom or a white alpha. It cringe. YZBG said, it's not that I shrink to be in white spaces. Oh, the question that I asked in the show was, would you prefer to be the only black face in a white space, or the only black face in a white queer space, or the only queer space in a black straight space? And this commenter said, it's not that I shrink to be in white spaces, it's that I don't want to be in white spaces at all. So there's no reason for me to try to fit in. Being around white people holds no interest for me. I agree that one should carry themselves as uncheckable wherever one goes. I fully agree. However, I do know that a lot of us spend most of our lives as the black face in the queer space in a straight space. Like, it's holiday season, so a lot of us, that was our Thanksgiving, that will be our Christmas in a couple weeks, that will be our New Year's for some of us. A lot of us end up in these churches or barbershops or beauty shops or a whole bunch of spaces, or work that is very black but not necessarily sensitive to the sensibilities of a queer person. And so the unfortunate part about it is I do live in the black gay mecca. So, you know, I get to, everywhere I go is run by the gays, but that just isn't everybody's story. And I appreciate you adding that to the chat. It's just, I don't know that a lot of us have the luxury of living carrying our lives as uncheckable, because there's a safety component that goes along with just being around a whole bunch of black folks. Just like it is around being around a whole bunch of others. But I think in a mixed race group, we have a little bit of privilege because a lot of people are scared of us. That can also be, that can also be to our detriment. But y'all see what I'm saying? Either way, I appreciate the comments. All right, teammates, this was a quick show. Unfortunately, I will say this will be our only show this week. We will be back here on Monday. I am participating in a campaign that I cannot talk about yet, but I will be filming Tuesday, Wednesday, and then there's an event on Thursday that... Let me stop that before we get a content strike. But there is an event on Thursday that I have to attend. So unfortunately, this will be our only show this week, and we will be right back here Monday to finish out the year. Next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday will be our last show of the year on the 19th. I'm very excited about it. But as for right now, that was our show. I want to thank you all for watching and joining. Sorry about that. Okay, teammates, that was our show. I am Jay the Gentleman. We'll be right back here with another episode of Dear Black Gay Men Podcast this coming Monday, a week from today, on the 15th. If you want to get more exclusive content, you can join us on Substack at dearblackgaymen.substack.com. I appreciate you all more than I can ever express. I will see you next time. Bye.